Smoke means a heavy left hook, okay? He couldn't throw the heavy left hook because of the fact that he wasn't that kind of a guy. He wasn't the big puncher his father was, but his father thought he could make him a puncher. You can't make guys puncher, except when you have a trainer like the great Emmanuel Stewart. Of course, Emmanuel Stewart made Tommy Hearns a puncher. Tommy Hearns couldn't. When Tommy Hearns fought in the amateurs, he couldn't punch his way out of a paper bag. Then he became the most dangerous puncher in boxing for a long, long time. Maybe in boxing history, he's like one of the top 10 punchers without a doubt. He made Milton McCory. Milton McCory could punch. I mean, you know, he built guys into punchers. I mean, Emmanuel Stewart built guys into champions. Lennox Lewis had leaks, right? Emmanuel Stewart got a hold of him, took care of the leaks. I mean, he took care of the Klitschko's as far as the leaks were concerned. Emmanuel Stewart was the greatest trainer, I think, in the past 25 or 30 years that I've seen. I mean, Angelo Dundee was probably before him, so I rate Angelo being before Emmanuel Stewart. But Emmanuel, I think, was the greatest trainer in the past 25 or 30 years. And how can I say that he's been gone 12 years? He's been gone 12 years. Straight up, let's go to Ring Talk. Let's go to a break. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Your inside look into the world of boxing.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624. Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647. Do you hear that? That's the sound of uncertainty lurking under your hood. You know the feeling. I know I do. That sudden sinking sensation when you see a check engine light or your car unexpectedly breaks down and you're faced with sky-high repair bills. It's time to shield against unexpected repairs with CarShield. CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let the fear of a breakdown keep you up at night. Trust the Shield, CarShield, and say goodbye to terrifying repair bills and hello to peace of mind. Your plan also comes with 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental car options, and so much more. Don't wait till it's too late. Call CarShield now before a breakdown. Protect your wallet. Protect your car with CarShield. Get our best protection ever. Call now. You'll thank me later. 800-247-6135. 800-247-6135. That's 800-247-6135.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Are we ready? You gonna run tomorrow morning?
5:30.
Greatest athlete I've ever encountered in my life. I'm talking about Ray Charles Leonard, of course, a.k.a. Sugar Ray Leonard. Larry Fine was born October 5th, 1902. Of course, he was the third stooge. I'm talking about Larry, Curly, and Moe. Bottom line is Fine took up boxing in his teens, of course, winning one professional fight, but his father, an Orthodox Jew, said, no more boxing, put an end to his brief career. Bottom line is we'll go from the Three Stooges to boxing's PhD, Socrates Palmer. Are you feeling the relation yet? Do we
I was
lose?
afraid we were going to go there when you were talking.
Okay.
No.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, my brother. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good. Are we got a decent feed here? You think we got a good feed? You hear me okay?
Sir. Yes, sir. Ready
No,
to go.
no. Reconnect that line. Straight up, you are tuned to Ring Talk Live, worldwide. You're inside looking at the world of boxing and MMA. October 18th, Lourdes Juarez versus Jessica Niera Plata for the WBC light flyweight title. Those are chicks going at it, I believe. Yeah, they are. And Desley Robinson taking on Logan Holler for the IBF title. Of course, October 19th, WBC Grand Prix semifinals. I don't know what that is. That's going to be on DAZN. October 25th, of course, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley in a heavyweight match. I think it's some type of pay-per-view. Can you imagine that on pay-per-view? Come on, what are they doing? Who would want to watch that? This is why people steal everything. Bottom line is you put bogus fights on pay-per-view and people want to steal them. Let's go back to the Bronx and bring in the Bronx Bomber himself, boxing's PAC Socrates Bomber. Bet of a bitter line?
You sound great, bro.
Okay, all right.
How do I sound?
Yeah, you're all right. Average, same old. Bottom line is, Jaron Ennis, why is it, man? I told Tommy D this yesterday. I said, even if I took Viagra, I don't know if I can get up to watch him fight. He fights okay, but he fights guys like me and Bailey and you. I mean, maybe take that back, me and Bailey.
Yeah, look, I don't think he's doing himself any favors fighting, predictable, easy wins, like he did last night in front of the hometown crowd. Either you look at your manager or your promoter, or you look at yourself. Who's to blame? It's like Boots Ennis the last 3 months. More, he's got more attention for being a sparring partner for Canelo than actually what he's doing in the ring.
I always listen. Listen, let me tell you like this. The fighter has the last say. You hear what I'm trying to say is, if I go in there and I say, look, tell my manager, bottom line, you're going to do this, he's got to do it. You know what I'm coming from? So it's up to you. I mean, you have the final say. Most of these fighters, if they don't have the final say and they're listening to these managers and trainers and this and that and their fathers and this and that, I mean, they've got to be able to think for themselves. And this is an indication where a guy should be thinking for himself.
I agree. And then they want to throw him in fight. He's calling out all these names after the fight, right? He's called out Fundora. He called out Virgil Ortiz.
He wouldn't fight. He wouldn't fight Virgil Ortiz. Come on, man. He wouldn't fight Virgil Ortiz. I don't think he would. Do you? I mean, that's a good name.
He avoided it. Yeah, I mean, he avoided him at 47. Now they both outgrown the weight. Now they're at 54. But my problem is, how do you build up that fight that could be a potential super fight? When you haven't gotten him on the radar for the fans to say, you know what, this guy Sanders, he took care of business this way against a credible opponent. Like, how do you build that up? He doesn't fight often, and he's fighting bums.
Eddie Hearn, the promoter. Listen, I think Eddie Hearn has failed miserably as a promoter. Somebody said to me, how can you say that, Pedro? He's all over television all the time. I'm like, yeah, but that company, I think his entities are his part of the Zone when he was like basically controlling Zone. They lost $1 billion. $1 billion. I've never heard of a company in my life losing $1 billion and keeping the guy around.
Eddie Hearn has done a great job promoting Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
But when you get past, it's like all sizzle, no steak. Once you get past, Eddie's a likable person. He's got a good personality. He's charming guy. He's got the gift of gab. But when it comes to, okay, what are you promoting? Anthony Joshua, at one point was a hot name, but he's pretty much done. He's not promoting fights. Yeah. So, Eddie has to take some blame for the lack of enthusiasm that we have for Boots Ennis.
Okay. I knocked Richard Torres a little bit earlier, and I just got a text saying, whoa, all kinds of different nasty things about me. It must be written by Richard's mother. But Richard Torres, was he a silver medalist in the Olympics?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, he didn't win the gold. Is there anything outside of him being undefeated in 13 fights is impressive?
I mean, he comes to fight. That's about it. But I think people think that he's very limited. He's not necessarily a big heavyweight. He got knocked out in the World Games. Ugly. So Richard Torres has faults, but he's a built for TV type of guy. I think when he fights someone, of that upper echelons, I think he's going to fail. But the guy has a fan-friendly style, but I don't think much of him other than that.
Okay, what about the guy that's hot on which is the guy Moses Itama? Moses Itama, does he light Richard Torres up?
He lights him up like a White House Christmas tree, like someone likes to say.
Okay.
Look, Moses Itama is a different type of cat. You know, you can tell that he is being brought up the right way. You know, look, he beat up Dillian White.
Time out. They almost look alike. Him and Richard Torres. They're left-handed, or they're both lefties, right?
Yeah, they're both lefty. They're not necessarily, their bodies don't stand out like, wow, like the guys that are built like, let's say, Anthony Joshua, you know, but I think most of the time it does things that Richard Torres doesn't, which is, A, he moves his head, you know, and he doesn't throw shots as wide, and he's faced a little tougher competition. So, you know, Richard Torres' problem now is that he's with Top Rank, which at one point was the elite promotion, but now Top Rank doesn't have any TV dates. So that's going to be
time out. Top Rank doesn't have any TV dates. I mentioned that week in and week out. What does that mean?
ESPN was not liking their ROI. You know, the ratings were not really good, and they decided to pull out, you know, of that contract. For the first time in a long time, Top Rank does not have, you know, a steady schedule of fights.
So if Bailey signs a Top Rank contract next week, where does he fight?
He may fight for PBC. Who knows? They are trying to get their guys active, keep them active by putting them on these other shows, you know, for other promoters. But man, how the mighty have fallen. You know, Top Rank was the brand in boxing, and now, no one wants to air their stuff. I don't know what's up with that.
Bob Arum was United States. Of course, Bob Arum graduated at the top of his law class in Harvard University back in 1958. In 1961, he became a United States attorney under the presidency of John Kennedy, and of course under the Attorney General Robert Kennedy. Of course, that's how he got hooked up with boxing. He did the closed circuit receipts for a fight between Sonny Liston and Floyd Patterson, the first fight, and he realized how much money was made in boxing. And then, of course, once Kennedy got killed, he didn't want to really work for the government anymore. He started his own business, promoted Ali a couple times. Of course, 65, still, I don't know how many years later, but he's still rocking and rolling. And you know what? He ain't my favorite guy. I mean, you know, I sued him and I won. I'm probably the only media guy in the history of boxing to sue Bob Arum and make some money out of it. But the bottom line is, he's done a lot, man. And you know what? He's never screwed anybody out of any money that I know of. Nobody's ever come to me and said, you know what, Bob Arum screwed me.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. You know, a lot of people have said things about their, you know, his colleagues. You know, we don't have to name names, but King
Khan.
Yeah, that's one of them for sure.
But here's what's up. No, you got to talk about how King Don treated me. He treated me like gold. He flew me and my daughter around. He treated us like gold. So you know what I'm saying? What he did. So that's what's sort of weird about in boxing is that you can't really judge everybody individually because of the fact you have to judge them on how your relationship with them goes. And my relationship with DK was always good. Of course, even when I was flying around the world first class for him, flying around first class and cashing the tickets in for a coach ticket on the same flight. I told you that story, right?
That is some gangster stuff.
Oh, yeah. Man, I made about 5, 6, I must have made 5 or 6, 7 grand. This was in the 1990s, I kid you not. Woo, big time money. I was making more money on my airline ticket than I was on the TV show.
Wow.
Well, you know, because you cash in a first class airline ticket to Madrid. Guess what? That's a lot of money. You're gonna get. I think I went from a $2,800 ticket to a $300 ticket. So it was like $2,500 in between. And I scooped all this cash up. And then DK caught it. I told DK caught it at that time, and he said to me, "You know, MFer, if you're ever late, I'm gonna fire you out." Oh, yeah, but he thought it was a pretty slick move. But guess what? He never flew me first class after that.
Well, one hustler has to respect another hustler.
Well, but the fact that he put this roach in coach, I mean, come on, man. You know, I was flying coach, but hey, it was pretty cool. I think we lasted like about a couple of years after the first class incident. But I thought it was so smooth, man. My mother says to me, "That's not a good Pete. You're being dishonest." I said, "How could I be dishonest, Mom? I'm on the same plane."
Yeah, I don't think that's being dishonest.
I'm on the same plane, so I'm not drinking champagne.
There you go.
Nobody